Greetings, children. Welcome to my channel, XII Accountancy by Shakun, Accounting Made Easy. Today we'll be talking about Chapter 8, Dissolution of a Firm from T.S. Grewal. In this video, we'll be talking about the meaning of dissolution of a firm, the various modes of dissolution of firm, and the difference between dissolution of partnership and dissolution of firm. So let's first talk about the meaning of dissolution of a partnership firm. Dissolution of a firm means when the business is discontinued, when a business is stopped or is closed and the firm is wound up or the firm is dissolved. As a result, the economic relationship between the partners, it ends. It is different from the dissolution of partnership, which means that there is a change in the economic relationship between the partners, but the firm continues in that case. But in case of dissolution of a partnership firm, there is a change in economic relationship and the firm continues to exist in the eyes of law. It comes to an end. According to Section 39 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932, dissolution of the firm means the dissolution of partnership among all the partners in the firm. So therefore, in such an event, what happens is that all the assets are sold and realized and the liabilities are paid off. The balance, if any, is paid to the partners while settling their accounts. If there is a shortfall to meet the outside liabilities, it is to be met by the partners through their private assets. But all the liabilities must be paid. Now let's talk about the modes of dissolution of the firm. Now there are various modes by which a firm may be dissolved. Let's talk about each one by one. The first one is by mutual agreement. Now, by mutual agreement, dissolution by mutual agreement means that a firm may be dissolved when all the partners agree for its dissolution. Okay, so whenever we have the consent of all partners to dissolve the firm, then the firm can be dissolved. Or it may be in accordance with the contract between the partners. So there might be a contract that the partners may enter into on the basis of which the firm may be dissolved. So that was by mutual agreement. The next mode of dissolution is compulsory dissolution. Now, what is compulsory dissolution? A firm may be compulsorily dissolved. There are certain cases when a firm may be compulsorily dissolved. These are when all the partners or when all except one partner becomes insolvent, rendering them incompetent to sign a contract. So when all the partners become insolvent or when all except just one becomes insolvent, then it leads to the compulsory dissolution of the firm by the court of law. The next case is when the business of the firm becomes illegal. So if the business is illegal, if the firm is carrying on an illegal business, then the firm should be compulsorily dissolved in the eyes of the law. The next case for compulsory dissolution is when some event has taken place which makes it unlawful for the partners to carry on the business of the firm in partnership. For example, when a partner who is a citizen of a country becomes an alien enemy because of the declaration of war with his country and India, in that case, the business becomes unlawful, and in that case, it must result into compulsory dissolution of the firm. Moving back, the next mode of dissolution is by notice. In case partnership is at will, the firm may be dissolved by any partner giving a proper notice in writing to all the other partners of his intention to dissolve the firm. This is according to Section 43, which says that in case the partnership is at will, means at the will of all the partners, then the firm may dissolve if one of the partners give a notice in writing to all the other partners telling them about his intention of dissolution. So that is dissolution by serving a notice. The next mode is on happening of an event. Now, dissolution of the firm may also result on the happening of an event. A firm may be dissolved on the happening of certain events if the partnership deed so provides. Now, what are these events? If constituted for a fixed term, then by the expiry of that term. So if the partnership is for a fixed period of time and that period of time has expired, then it will lead to the dissolution of partnership. If constituted to carry out one or more ventures by the completion thereof, means if the partnership was carried on to carry out some kind of venture, some business venture, and the business venture is complete now, so the firm will be dissolved. By the death of a partner, death of a partner leads to the dissolution of the partnership firm, but it may be continued by the remaining partners. A new firm may be formed. Then by the adjugation of a partner as insolvent. So if one of the partners becomes insolvent, even then the firm may be dissolved. So these are the situations where on the happening of an event which leads to the dissolution of the firm. The next mode is dissolution by court. So the court may also give a notice to the effect that a particular firm should be dissolved. When does that happen? A court may pass an order for the dissolution of the firm when, number one, when a partner becomes insane, when a partner becomes of unsound mind, then the dissolution is order is given by the court to dissolve the firm. Next is when a partner becomes permanently incapable of performing his duties as a partner. So if a partner is maybe mentally ill or physically ill and he is not able to perform his duties, then the firm may be dissolved. When a partner is guilty of misconduct, which is likely to adversely affect the business of the firm. So if a partner is considered as doing something, some misconduct or guiding the firm, then the firm may go into dissolution. When a partner persistently commits breach of partnership agreement, so obviously the partners have a partnership agreement which may be written or oral. So if one of the partners continuously and persistently he breaches that, he does not abides by the partnership agreement, then the firm can go in dissolution. When a partner has transferred the whole of his interest in the firm to a third party, that also means that the existing firm has to be dissolved and a new firm has to be made to whom he has transferred his interest. When the business of the firm cannot be carried on except at a loss. So if the business is going into losses, there are no profits, there are no ray of hopes, then the firm may be dissolved. When on any ground the court regards dissolution to be just and equitable, which means that if the court decides, if the court passes an order to the effect that the firm should be dissolved, in that case the firm should be dissolved. So these were the various modes of dissolution, where we talked about the dissolution by mutual agreement, by compulsory dissolution, dissolution by notice on the happening of an event, and dissolution by court. So these are the various reasons why a particular firm may be dissolved. Now, moving on to the next topic. Now, let us first understand the difference between dissolution of partnership and dissolution of the partnership firm. Both these terms are different and they must be understood in literal, their literal meaning should be understood. So, dissolution of partnership. Dissolution of partnership means where the existing partners, the existing relationship between the partners, it changes. Okay, the firm may continue its business as before, but there is a change in the existing relationship between the partners. So whenever there is any admission of a partner or retirement of a partner or change in profit sharing ratio, that leads to dissolution of partnership, because the business continues, the business does not come to an end, only the existing relationship between the partners changes. Dissolution of partnership firm, on the other hand, it means uh, whenever there is any intervention by the court or order by the court, or a notice has been served, or on the happening of an event, or by mutual consent of all partners, these there which we just discussed, the modes of dissolution. So in the happening of any such event, the firm may be dissolved. But in case of dissolution of partnership firm, the business comes to an end. It is the business is wound up. Moving on. Now let's understand the distinction between dissolution of partnership and dissolution of firm on the basis of certain points that I have charted out for you. So the first point is termination of business. As I've just explained you, in dissolution of partnership, the business is not terminated. It continues. But in dissolution of firm, the business comes to an end. Settlement of assets and liabilities. In case of dissolution of partnership, assets and liabilities, they are revalued and new balance sheet is drawn. The revaluation account is prepared as you used to do in case of admission, retirement and change in profit sharing ratio. But in case of dissolution of the firm, we are not going to revalue the assets because we are closing the firm. So assets are sold, liabilities are paid off, and instead of revaluation account, we prepare the realization account. So I hope you understand the difference, that in case of dissolution of partnership, the assets and liabilities are revalued because the firm continues. But in case of dissolution, they are realized, they are paid off. Court's intervention. In case of dissolution of partnership, court does not intervene because partnership is dissolved by mutual agreement, okay, and a new partnership is carried on. But in case of dissolution of firm, a firm can be dissolved by the court's order, as we just discussed in the modes of dissolution. Economic relationship. Now the economic relationship between the partners continues, though in a changed form. But in case of dissolution of firm, the economic relationship between the partners, it comes to an end. Okay, because the firm is coming to an end, so economic relationship also comes to an end. Closure of books. Now, obviously, in case of dissolution of partnership, the business is not terminated, so therefore the books are not closed. But in case of dissolution of the firm, we are going to close the books. We are going to write off all our assets, sell them off, write off all the liabilities, pay them off, and all the books of accounts are closed. Whatever balances have to be paid are paid, and even the partner's capital account is closed at the end. Other dissolution, it may or may not involve dissolution of the firm. Now dissolution of partnership, there uh, you know there it might lead to dissolution of firm or it might not. It depends upon the partners and what they have agreed at. But in dissolution of firm, it definitely involves the dissolution of partnership. So dissolution of partnership does not necessarily involve dissolution of firm, but dissolution of firm definitely involves the dissolution of partnership. So this was about the difference between the dissolution of partnership and the dissolution of partnership firm. A tip for you: the dissolution of firm necessarily brings in dissolution of partnership, but dissolution of partnership does not necessarily mean dissolution of firm. It can come in a 1-mark question also. Now let's recapitulate. So in this video, we have talked about the meaning of dissolution of a firm when the firm comes to an end and the existing relationship also comes to an end. We also talked about the modes of dissolution of a firm: by notice, by compulsory dissolution, order of the court, etc. And we also talked about the difference between the dissolution of partnership and the dissolution of firm. I hope the concepts are clear to you. If you liked my content, please show some love, like my video, subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, you can contact me on my email ID, or you can also leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening so patiently. So this is Inside Accountancy by Shakun signing off. Thank you.